there's this opinion that the entire vegan industry in general runs on this exactly, which is sort of letting people know, sure, like making people aware, that's fine.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it sort of is, on your face sort of movement,
Yeah.
which then people start sort of, doubting it, whether what is the right intention. And then the right intention sometimes, then there's speculations of it, that the entire other industry of vegan industry itself is run based on this fear of, you're killing people, or you're killing animals. There's that fear that is, and what do you think about that?
I
It's
think
like an alternate industry setup as a result of that.
people who do face-to-face activism,
Yeah,
people stand on the streets. When I wasn't vegan, I used to think the same way. Like, they're just annoying people. People don't want to see these things as they're walking to work, or as they're walking across, just shopping. Innocent people, little kids, seeing these images. They would hold up iPads. No one should see that. No one should see those images. That's how I thought, because it's disgusting. You're scarring these people. But I think it's important. Activism works in all sorts of ways, right? For me, what worked for me. I used to see these people, and I used to think, bloody vegans. Like they're just in your face, like they have an agenda.
I don't know if you heard, there was like a recent thing that happened in UK, I guess. Few vegan activists, they sort of went into like restaurants and then took their dishes or something of people having meat. And then there was a lot of outrage against that happened, which is let people live sort of peacefully. And then that sort of defeats the entire, the philosophy
100%.
behind which
That's
should
dumb.
be
That's dumb. Because you're not going to change any minds doing that.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people out there as well, online, like vegans who are just extreme.
Yeah.
A bit too extreme.
Yeah.
They use hatred to spread the message.
Yeah.
I'm all about, the way I look at it, is all about education. Because I was there. I was on the other side of that. And I used to see these things, and I used to live in ignorance. But the thing that I learned recently is different things work for different people. What worked for me is I used to look at Earthling Ed videos, Joy Carpstrong. These are people that came up on my YouTube.
Yeah.
And they do it's like debate, like they would talk to people. It was like a friendly debate. Earthling Ed, he just talks to people, has a conversation. So it was like a peaceful way. He would just educate them on how this industry functions. That's what made me go vegan. But for some people, it's the face-to-face activism. But in the end, what both of that's doing is education. Maybe it is a shock to some people, it's fear. But at the same time, they have to understand that they are paying for this.
Right.
Because the way the meat industry works, they're very clever and very smart in hiding how the meat production side of it from the public.
Right.
And for the public, what they don't know is they don't have to worry about it.
Right.
And by showing them that this is actually what's happening, it gets people to start thinking. Maybe not go vegan straight away. I mean, it's very hard for people to go vegan straight away, seeing someone on the street. But then they'll be like, I saw this today. It really disturbed me. Maybe they'll look into like Google it. Like what is the meat industry?
But
and then that's where the journey starts.
Do you sort of believe in that sort of mode of the medium of, putting forward your ideology? I would have thought it would have been if it's much more nicer, like for example, like this, right? Where you're sharing thoughts when you're debating it, which sort of makes a deeper impact compared to going on to someone else's, while someone's having a dinner. Like,
see, that's wrong. Like going into someone's restaurant, because the main thing there is those are innocent people, and they're innocent people. And like, I don't blame people who don't know about the meat industry, because the industry works in such a way that they don't make it public.
Wouldn't,
So people who don't know, why meat is so bad, I sympathize with them. I used to be like that.
But even after knowing it, then there's
even like restaurant owners, like even butchers, and like those people are they're just doing their job.
Sure.
I think what needs to change is education. They need to be educated, and
Mm.
the less demand there is. What you've seen with dairy milk in the past 2 years,
Yeah.
so many dairy companies have gone bankrupt because of oat milk rising,
Right.
soy milk rising. These products are much cheaper, use less resources to produce. Even now in shops, alternate milk is cheaper than whole milk, for
Oh.
sure.
Wow.
You can get soy milk for $1.50.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can get
100%.
almond milk. The cheapest one is like $2.